Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for joining me for another video. So today's video is a 6-month review of my Chloe Mini C in black. I have already done a 6-month review of my Chloe Tess bag in the Motti Grey, so I'll link that on the screen if you're interested in this bag. However, if you are here to see the Mini C, keep on watching. So just a little bit of history around why I got the Mini C and why I got it in the colour that I did. So the first Chloe bag, actually the first designer bag I ever purchased, was the Motti Grey Tess bag. I absolutely adored it, I still do. I think it's the most beautiful handbag I've ever seen and I just adore it. And I specifically wanted that bag in that colour, and after owning it for a while, because I wore it all through summer, it got to winter and I was like, I don't really want to wear this gorgeous, light, fresh looking bag in the rain and wind and miserable weather. And that's when I started to get my eye on this bag. I purchased this pretty much as a real kind of just use it and get the wear out of it sort of bag. I didn't buy this for it to be precious. I would say my Tess is a lot more precious to me. But yeah, I saved up Christmas money, birthday money, and decided to treat myself to this one. So yeah, I got it in the black because I wanted it to be the most hard wearing it could be. I invested in this knowing it was probably going to get marked, it was probably going to be in the rain, but I was okay with that because that's what I went into it for, basically. I bought it as my everyday, hard wearing, you know, within reason. I wouldn't go walking with it or anything like that, but kind of like everyday handbag, basically. I did ask over on Instagram if you had any questions you wanted me to answer in this video, so I do have a couple on here, and I know a few people actually asked how much I paid for the bag, so I will just get the invoice up. So the bag was originally £1,080, which is heartbreaking to even say, but I actually paid £926 for it because I did have a 15% off code, which I think Matches had sent me throughout the year. And I also paid £8 delivery, so the total came to £926. Do I think it's worth that price? Yes, I do, but obviously we all know we're paying for the brand pretty much, we're paying for the logo and what it looks like, but I'm totally okay with that because I think it's beautiful. However, once I'd received it and I'd unboxed it, I did notice it had a few little marks. Now, this is my fault, I totally could have sent it back and changed it and got a new one, but I didn't want to do that, to be honest. I just wanted to keep it once I'd had it in my hands, because they weren't anything like major. So just that mark there was already on the bag when I purchased it, and I'm not sure about that one. That one might have been, but I know for sure that that one definitely was. But it was one of them things, like I said, I'd got 15% off it with the discount code and I didn't really want to send it back because I just wanted to keep it. So I wasn't really too bothered about that. I mean, it's a bag, like it isn't going to stay perfect forever as much as I would like it to. Which brings me on to the next question, which was how has it worn? Like, has it got any signs of wear and tear? Has it have any like damages? And to be honest, this bag has worn really well. I haven't been as precious with it as I am with my grey Tess bag. Like, I don't place that on any tables or anything like that, where I would say I've been a bit more reckless with this bag. Not for the sake of it, but like I said, I wanted to use it. I want to get my money's worth out of it. I'm not going to be precious about it and leave it on the shelf forever. And yeah, I would say I've been quite reckless with it. I haven't necessarily overthought about me using it, like whether it's bashed into something or whether it's kind of hit, I don't know, against the car, or I've put it on the floor in the car or anything like that. I just haven't really thought about. I've just done because, like I said, I wanted it to be my everyday bag. And to be honest, it's worn really, really well. I can't really say it has any marks. I mean, the suede on the front has got like tiny little bits of wear, as you can probably see on the camera there, but I'm guessing that will probably be from if I've worn it in the rain. It's got a bit damp. Obviously suede isn't always the best with getting wet, but yeah, other than that, it is in pretty good condition. I think it's got a little mark there that I can just see on the camera, but honestly, other than that, I would say it really is pretty much perfect condition. So there's just the base again, like minor marks, but nothing you wouldn't be able to see if I wasn't zooming it close up on the camera. And then as for the back, that's just the back. As you can see, there's a tiny little mark there, and I think there might be one there just looking on the camera. But honestly, even up close on here, I really can't see them. And yeah, I would say it's worn really, really well. I did just notice, I'm actually a bit embarrassed, that I never took the plastic thing off this clasp. I only just noticed it when I was looking at it a moment ago. I'm gonna take that off because that is embarrassing, to say the least. So I can't tell you how well that bit has worn because it's been covered all this time. I mean, I guess it's not a bad thing, but I can't believe I've never noticed. So I would say this section of the bag is probably the bit that's had the most, what's the word? The most kind of damage or the most use, because like when I'm doing it up, the clasp obviously goes down and I'm like looking for the clasp and it might just get a bit scratched, and equally undoing it, it's very easy to scratch things with your nails, like if you're in a rush. So it does have a few little marks just around the front, but again, nothing major. And then as for this top section, it has a couple of marks just there and there, but other than that, again, completely immaculate. But to be honest, that's probably where something is kind of like digged in. If I've had, I don't know, a piece of card or anything in the bag that hasn't quite fit and I've closed it and it's kind of dug into the leather, I'm sure that's probably how those ones have happened. And then as for the leather on the top, obviously you're bending it back and it does crease a little bit, but it really hasn't left any damage. As you can see, like when it's open, it does kind of crease the leather, but really doesn't create any like lasting creases. As for the handle, perfect, it's still absolutely immaculate. And then as for the strap, I would say it's kind of got minor signs of use, just where it's a little bit bent or it's just gone a little bit looser just through use, but I don't think that's a bad thing, to be honest. And yeah, as for all of the hardware, it still all looks super, super fresh, and even the C on the front is still immaculate. So yeah, I think as an everyday bag, this one is great. It has stood the test of time so far. Maybe I'll have to do another review in a year or so's time when I've used it even more. Like I've said a million times, I haven't been too precious with this bag. It has had its fair use with so many different outfits, and I've also worn it with white dresses and things, and it's never rubbed off onto any of my clothes. I know that was another question. The next question was, how much can I fit in the bag? Now, it is quite a small bag, but it fits in all of the essentials. Sometimes I try to fit my camera in as well, and I end up walking around with it actually not done up, which I don't recommend, but sometimes you've got to do what you've got to do. If I want to wear this bag and I want to take my camera with me, I just kind of try and make it fit. So on a daily basis, I have my purse. This is just from Kate Spade. As you can see, it's quite a big size. I am going to measure it for you because I want you to have the best knowledge on this bag possible. So the purse is about 14 centimeters wide. The height is about 8, and just from the side is about 3. So that gives you a rough idea of the size of my purse. I mean, if I was to use a card holder instead of an actual purse, obviously it would save up so much room and I'd easily be able to fit my camera in. But yeah, that just fits in absolutely fine. So yeah, that's in. And I do also take my phone. This is an iPhone XS. I don't know if it makes any difference if it's an S or not, but it's an iPhone X. I'll measure it for you just so we've got exact measurements here. If we're gonna do it, we'll do it properly. So it's 15 centimeters high and about 7.5 wide. And that also fits in absolutely fine. Then on top of that, I have my keys, which are like a pretty big, and then they just fit on top, again, absolutely fine, and it just shuts perfectly. But like I said, if I want to take my camera, things get a bit crammed in there because I have to have my purse upright and my phone upright, so the flap doesn't really shut as well. But yeah, just for those like everyday essentials, it works absolutely fine. But I definitely think I need to invest in a card holder because that would just switch up the whole spacing a lot. But yeah, it fits the essentials and it does the job I need it to do. So in terms of me actually wearing it, like styling it, it pretty much goes with everything. Like you can wear this in the summer. I've worn it a lot with like a little white dress, beige trainers, and then just have the bag over the top. Equally, it looks so nice with winter outfits, like a big chunky jumper, a coat, and then having the bag over the top just makes the outfit look even more luxe. Because obviously it's quite a statement with the big C, and yeah, it just adds a bit more of a luxury finish to an outfit. So yeah, it's definitely a lot more versatile than my Chloe Tess, only because of the colour. If that was black, then obviously it would be the same as this, completely versatile. So if you was to pick one out of these two colours and you wanted practicality, I would definitely say the Mini C, but I absolutely adore my Tess. I think the colour's just beautiful. So yeah, I don't not like that one, but this one gets worn a lot more. So one downside to the bag, and it is only one, apart from the size, but you can't really change that. I bought it for the size. I bought it the size it was, so I can't complain about not fitting loads and loads in it. Like, it's a mini little crossbody bag, what can I expect? But one thing I would say is a downside is that it's so noisy walking along with it on. I mean, I don't know if you're going to be able to hear on the camera, but I will try and show you what I mean. So hopefully you can hear that kind of like squeaky leather sound. It doesn't put me off. I would buy it again knowing that it does that, but I want to tell you everything about the bag, and that's the only thing that I think is a negative, because if you're spending pretty much £1,000 on a bag, I don't really think it should squeak every time you make a step. But yeah, it doesn't put me off, but I just wanted to tell you that. But it is a bit embarrassing sometimes if you're walking somewhere that's really quiet and your bag's just squeaking. But no, it's absolutely fine. It's just a tiny little negative. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I don't like about it. I really don't think there is. In terms of the quality of the actual clasp, it's stayed the same. Like, it hasn't lessened in quality. It's still super, what's the word? Like, super sharp and crisp to use. As you can see, like, it's really secure. Like, the quality of this bag really is beautiful, aside from it looking beautiful as well. It really is sturdy and well made. So to open the bag, this is the fastening. You just press that little button and then it just releases it. So then to close it, again, just push it down, and obviously you can hear how sturdy that is just from the camera. The strap is adjustable, but I don't really change it. I think I've got it on one of the shortest settings just because I like my crossbody bags to sit quite high up. The leather can be a bit stiff when you're changing the strap size, but obviously for me personally it isn't really something that I do regularly, so it doesn't really matter. I just kind of fight it once and then it's done and I don't change it. So yeah, I guess that is a negative, but they're like the most minimal negatives. I'm trying to find things that I don't like about it, but I'm really struggling here. But yeah, it's a really beautiful bag. I would buy it again in a heartbeat, and I've really enjoyed owning it, and I haven't gone off it after all this time. I still love it just as much as I did when I got it. I can say the same for both of my Chloe bags. I'm not really that into designer goods. They're not necessarily things that I chase after or aspire to have, but these two bags just really caught my eye and I just adore them. I think that's the one thing with buying a designer bag. If you're going to make that investment, you need to know you absolutely adore it and you're going to wear it for years, because you can't just buy it, wear it for a couple of months and then go off it. So I think like a classic bag like this is just always going to look smart. It's always going to be wearable. It's not a crazy colour that doesn't go with anything. Like, it just works, and I think that's why I just loved it so much. So hopefully I've covered everything from the questions in that video as a whole. If there's anything that I've missed, just let me know in the comments and I will get straight back to you. I always film these videos and afterwards I'm like, oh, wish I'd have added that in. So yeah, just drop me a message or leave a comment below if there's anything you want to know. But other than that, thank you so much for watching. If you do purchase a bag, enjoy. I know you will love it because I just adore mine. They're just, it's a really lovely treat. But yeah, thank you for watching. If you're not already, please do subscribe to my channel. That would be hugely appreciated. And if you enjoyed the video, please do give it a big thumbs up. And I will see you again very soon. bye.